Module 6 course project, written by Anna P. Dulian, presented by Anna P. Dulian, for Rasmussen College on March 25th, 2018. The company overview of the company who I did my research on is Olive Garden, the one located in Eau Claire, Wisconsin, but they're located just about everywhere. The brand awareness and general experience is what brings people into this restaurant. And I do believe that's very true, because everywhere that I've lived, which I've lived all over the United States, we've pretty much always had an Olive Garden, and it's somewhere that you feel comfortable going for a quick lunch or a nice dinner. They serve Italian comfort food. It's simple but delicious, and most people can always find something on an Italian menu that they like. I don't know anybody that can't. They're known for fast and friendly service, which this location is very good at. They're also known for clean restaurants with a comfortable atmosphere. What type of leadership is needed in a place like this? I think it's an excellent leader that is somebody who is truly willing to make the changes that are required. This is basically putting your own personal agenda behind the agenda of your organization. So the organization of Olive Garden, their ultimate focus is on the customer. So you need somebody who's willing to put the customer first. And this location, I think the customer was always first, and the leader made sure that that was known within the restaurant. They need somebody who has a measurement of quality. This is something that is needed in almost every single organization, but in this particular organization, it can be from the time somebody walks through the door to the time their order's taken, to the time their food is brought to them. Are their drinks being refilled when they're necessary? How often are you walking through the restaurant and seeing cups that are empty? Are people happy, or are people getting angry and upset because they're waiting a little too long for their food? And you can see by enjoyment as to how comfortable people are, and whether they stay a little bit past their meal, continuing their conversation with the friend they met up with. Somebody who knows how to empower their employees. The employees at this location were wonderful. None of them seemed to be upset with their job. Even the people who were out back when you were leaving the parking lot, you saw that we're on break. Nobody seemed to be upset, disgruntled, mad, anything. Everybody had a smile, whether they were helping you or just walking around the place doing their job. That was unrelated to you. You need somebody who knows how to continuously develop the process. So with Olive Garden, one thing that they've done to develop to new technology is they have kiosks on every single table. So you need to have a leader that is willing to learn that process and teach that process to the servers. But those servers are also teaching it to the customers, who will be repeat customers that will come in time and time and time again for the services that this restaurant offers. So it's a trickling down effect, but the leadership needs to know how to do it to implement the proper training. Strategic planning. The mission statement of Olive Garden is to be financially successful through great people, consistently delivering outstanding food, drink, service, and an inviting atmosphere, making every guest loyal. And that comes directly from their website. And this is something I feel that you actually saw when you were within that restaurant. And I think this particular restaurant was meeting that mission statement. They were making sure that every single customer felt that they wanted to return to that location. Their vision is to help team members learn, thrive, and grow. I feel that all of their team members were very well trained and that they all were happy. So obviously they didn't have anything that was disgruntling them, because a disgruntled employee is pretty easy to pick out when you're in an establishment. The values are inclusion, diversity, respect, caring, always learning and always teaching, integrity and fairness, teamwork, excellence, and being of service, which I felt they had a very diverse work group that all seemed to work very cohesively together, and they did their best to be at the service of the customer. The customer being the focus. Their feedback is encouraged on their webpage. You can go there. They love to get feedback. They love to know the restaurant number. And on the bottom of your receipt, it gives you every single place that you can call or email or go on the website and leave a review. They keep all their restaurants cleanly. I've never been in a dirty Olive Garden. They keep the customer time of service as fast as they possibly can, even in a busy time frame like a lunch rush or a dinner rush. They hire friendly, personable staff members who are awesome with the customer. So they obviously are keeping the customer in focus with that. Measurement, analysis, and knowledge management. The information for this project was gathered in person by myself, eating a meal with my 4-year-old daughter. The customer information was subdivided into 3 main topics. The type of customer that we had, which ranged from single mother with daughter to older ladies in their 70s, middle-aged couples, couples in their 50s, couples in their 20s, couples in same-gender relationships. It was a very large range of customers in a very diverse style of customers also. Then there were 3 different observation categories. The environment, which was clean. The sounds were minimal. I mean, as I wrote, garlic filled the air. Well, the sound was not too loud, but it was still a soft background noise where it wasn't, you could hear a pin drop and were uncomfortable. The staff is the next one. They were all very kind, courteous, did their jobs well, made sure that they were fast and friendly. And then the general manager actually made his presence known at each and every single table, making sure that the guests enjoyed their experience, which I think is very nice, being a guest, knowing that the general manager cares about the customers that much that he would take the time out of his day when he had a chance to meet with the actual guests and see how they're doing. Workforce focus. Needs to be a workforce seemed to be met through the staffing and training. Obviously, the staff was hired very well for the positions that they were in, and they were trained where it was almost as if they were dancing a choreographed dance. Even with 2 servers in one section, they never seemed to be in each other's way. It was almost as if they were choreographed, walking around one another, and it was just kind of amazing how cohesively they worked. They ensure that their restaurant quality is above the quality of surrounding restaurants. The neighboring restaurants, I've heard many complaints about service, cleanliness, food not being cooked right. I've never heard any of that of this particular Olive Garden. So they are definitely setting the bar above their surrounding restaurants. Operation focus. Olive Garden meets, if not exceeds, the operation needs. The service was not only fast, but it was also very friendly, as I've stated before. The staff was hired very well for the positions that they were going to be in. And the operation that they're doing, they need to have those fast and friendly servers, because if not, the customer's not going to return. The restaurant is laid out very well in little teeny tiny sections, and the servers seem to not have too many customers that they seem frazzled at the amount of customers they had, and they could give the individual service that each customer table needed. And I think that they laid the restaurant out very well to meet the customer's needs, but also to meet the server's needs and closeness to the kitchen, and making sure that they can deliver what they need to deliver on time. The results and conclusions that I have for this particular project. The performance was very good. The leadership of the restaurant made sure that they made their presence known. The seating was good, ensuring the servers could cover the area very well. The staff was friendly and ensured that customers' needs were being met and also exceeded. You could tell that the training within the restaurant was very extensive, because nobody seemed to not know what they were doing. They didn't have to go ask another person, hey, how do I do this? How is this done? Everybody could answer your question that you needed answered, or they made it not known that they didn't know what they were doing, and they quietly went off somewhere to ask somebody else. But your questions were answered very fast, very quickly. From the moment you walked in the door, you were being serviced at this particular place. And I think overall they did very good. The only thing that kind of irked me a little bit about this trip was the fact that we were seated next to 4 ladies that ranged in the 20 range, and they seemed to all be college students, and they were all talking about their conquests of the night before in the neighboring dorm. And I was sitting with my 4-year-old daughter, who doesn't need to hear about these things, but I will give the girls that they did make sure that their language was kept to a minimum, and that they were being courteous to the people around them. And I'm sure if they weren't, if I would have talked to a staff member, I could have been moved, or they would have been moved, because I think the staff there knew how to deal with customers and the different situations that come up with customers in their particular restaurant. So overall, I think the experience there was amazing. I'm not sure exactly how this particular location's kitchen goes, but the only big thing that I can see with any restaurant is that there's a lot of food waste. And I can't say that this is something that needs to change here, because they may already be doing that. But to make food in smaller batches where it always seems very fresh to the customer, but also is in turn not creating waste. But our food was very fresh, so they may have already been doing that. And the breadsticks were always hot and seemed like they were fresh out of the oven, not just under a heat lamp. So I think they may already be doing that in this particular location. So my overall experience at Olive Garden was a very good experience. And the references that I have for this particular project and this particular presentation is Darien Restaurants, which is the actual company that owns Olive Garden, their mother company, and very easy, nice website to be able to use and get content from. Thank you very much for your time, and I hope you gained some information from this. Thank you.